All right, so after a bunch of speculation and back and forth and this and that, it is now official. Jeff Passan just broke this. Jack Curry just reported this as well. The Yankees have officially acquired Cody Bellinger. Okay, Cody Poteet is heading to the Cubs, and $5 million is coming back to the Yankees. So they're getting a $5 million relief here. But Cody Bellinger is officially a New York Yankee. So I wanted to get this news out to you immediately. That's step number one. They're going to be adding 2 more bats. Okay, Cody Bellinger is going to be a left fielder, right? They still need to add a first baseman and another infielder. So stay tuned. But they solved this issue, and I didn't think this is probably the best they were going to get. Obviously, Nico Horner didn't come with him, but my guess is they're going to get somebody else at second free agency at second base, most likely, or third base, or a trade for one of those guys as well. There's a couple of players that are available, and right now with the free agent price is really high, they may be investigating the trade route a little bit more often for first base and the other infield spot. So, what do you think, gang? Again, $5 million is coming back to the Yankees with Cody Bellinger, and all they're sending is Cody Poteet to the Cubs. That's it. So my guess they're still going to unload Marcus Stroman in a separate trade, probably Jose Trevino, and some of these other folks as well. So, but again, give me your thoughts. So hit the like button, by the way. We got 271 people in here right now. Let's crack those like buttons. Let's just get to 250 likes right now if we can. But this is a big trade for the Yankees. They added an impact bat, a guy that's probably going to bat fourth between Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. And now it gives Jason Dominguez, who's likely going to be the center fielder, 2 elite gloves on either side of the field to protect him. Okay? Consigliere, a shout out to the chat, by the way. Cody Poteet is heading back from the Yankees to the Cubs, and the Cubs are kicking in $5 million. And that's it. That's it. Okay, so they still need either a second baseman, a third baseman, and a first baseman. So, David Cohen, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. But he wanted to be a Yankee. That's right. He wanted to be a Yankee. And it was probably not going to happen, Nico Horner. So, my guess they're going to add somebody else, which is fine, which is totally fine. So, there are a lot of players. And Bellinger has played the outfield. He's an elite glove in the outfield. He's an average glove in infield. So that's one reason why they're going to put him in the outfield and not first base. And they'll get somebody else for first base. So I know there's talk about Christian Walker and there's talk about Alex Burke. Just keep in mind, I don't think the Yankees are going to sign any player attached to a qualifying offer unless they make separate trades to get compensatory draft picks. You can trade comp picks, but you can't trade regular round draft picks. You can trade for international money, which the Yankees do regularly. So now got two more holes to fill. First base and 1 more infield spot. One of those bats, my guess, is going to be a lefty. And the other one will probably be a righty. Maybe both lefty. But they just added a lefty bat and a pretty big one. He's going to be protected by a much better lineup here, too. So this is step 1 towards replacing Juan Soto. Bellinger has an opt-in or an opt-out for next year. If he has a good year, depending on what he does, he can opt into next year as well. So, we'll see how that goes. Again, if he can have a crappy year and still opt in to 2026, he can have a huge year and opt out. So it gives the Yankees at least 1 year with Cody Bellinger right now. And he's a decent first baseman. He's an elite outfielder. So this is the Yankees, my guess, are going to go upgrade defensively and upgrade in first base. So that's my guess. So I doubt Frank J. They're not going to sign 2 guys with qualifying offers. That's 4 draft picks they'd have to give up, and that's $2 million in international money. I can't see that happening. Cody Poteet was a guy that they got from the Cleveland Guardians. He's like a swingman, starter, reliever, and so on and so forth. So, I don't. Oswaldo Cabrera, I don't think anybody right now on this team is going to be a starter. I don't think Ben Rice is going to start. I don't think DJ is going to start. I don't think Oswaldo is going to start. So I think they're going to be bringing in 2 new guys. That's my guess, but I could be wrong. Gleyber is not a fit here anymore, Corey. They've already said that they're looking beyond Gleyber Torres. So I think Gleyber Torres will get a significant deal somewhere. So then Tucker's not happening. I don't know why these people keep saying he just got traded to the Cubs. Tucker, there's no way Kyle Tucker's going to get traded to the Yankees. I don't know why people keep saying that. I don't think they get Santander. He's also attached to a QL. I think they're probably most likely going to trade for somebody or sign somebody like Carlos Santana. They might trade for Josh Naylor. They might trade for Vinny Pasquantino. They might trade for someone else. But my guess, and again, this is just a guess, I don't think any free agent attached to a QO is going to come here right now unless they trade for comp picks first. And if you can get Marcus Stroman moved for comp picks and just get somebody to assume most of his salary, that's a pretty big trade for the Yankees. If you can move Jose Trevino for comp picks and international money, that's a good trade. You can move Trent Grisham, either one of those or a combination, that's a pretty big pick too. It's a pretty big trade. So, yeah, exactly, Ken. What do you know, my man? It's going to cost the Yankees $22.5 this year, down from $25.5. So the Yankees still have money to play with here. And again, if they clean up some of these payroll, if they move Stroman, if they move Trevino, if they move Grisham, they could clear up another $25-30 million. So shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Hit the like, keep hitting the like buttons. We have 300 people in here right now. But if you're happy about this news, hit those thumbs up buttons, please. Especially if you're happy with the news. Like I said, this was going to happen. It was so much back and forth news of this $10 million apart and this and that and so on. So maybe Cashman blinked. But again, they didn't give up anything of significance for Cody Bellinger. People are talking about having to give, Luis Hill and so. There's no freaking way they're going to do that. There's no way. Josh Naylor I like Josh Naylor for the Yankees. So he's 27. He's a lefty bat. He's got power. He's a guy that the Yankees could get to. I think he has 1 year left before he's a free agent. So, yeah. 120 likes. All right, we got over 300 people in here. Let's keep hitting them like buttons. Game. We got 120 likes already. The next move is going to be first base, or they might even address the bullpen too. And they've added Devin Williams. And now look, they got Devin Williams here. They got Max Fried, who became official today. They're gonna have a press conference tomorrow. Devin Williams got introduced today, and now Cody Bellinger is a Yankee. Okay, the Yankees have been busy this offseason. Pretty good offseason. Thank you, Christian, for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. If I'm Cashman, how do I solve first base, second? Well, there only has to be second or third because we have Jazz Chisholm here. He could play one of the other positions. I would try to trade for either a second baseman or a third baseman. Unless you're going to go for agency, then maybe Hyun Kim if he's not hurt. But you can go for a guy like Brandon Lowe from the Tampa Bay Rays or something like that. Matt Lowe for first base. Nate Lowe, excuse me. Josh Naylor. There's a lot of options for first base that are not free agents that are solid as well. And keep in mind, these two guys, Pete Alonso and Christian Walker, they're both going to make more than $20 million a year. Not, and it's going to come with 2 draft picks and international money. If the Yankees want to have any chance, and they mentioned today that they want to be part of the Roki Sasaki equation, if you want to have any chance at Roki Sasaki, you cannot take any more guys with qualifying offers. They're already given up almost 20% of their international money just by signing Max Fried. So we'll see. Jazz is an elite second baseman. So my guess, if they bring in somebody, it'll probably be third base. That's my guess. So, but Belly is officially a Yankee. Seiya Suzuki, I doubt now because Bellinger's going to be the outfielder. And it's either going to be Trent Grisham or Everson Pereira is going to be the fourth outfielder. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Cashman gets a lot of heat from – he's been busier than everybody. Busier than everybody, right? So this is good. This is so far a pretty good offseason for the Yankees. Quiet, and it's been quiet the last couple of days. People are wondering what the heck's going on. Cashman just waits to strike, and he strikes. A Trevino trade can happen. A Grisham trade can happen. A Stroman trade can happen. They've already traded Nestor Cortez to the Brewers for Devin Williams. So they are making moves here. They are making moves, and Cody Bellinger is a big one. That's a big one. David Cohen, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate all the super chats, guys. Traded Rizzo for Bellinger, and pretty much you basically swapped Rizzo and Bellinger for the most part. Couple, give or take a few $1 million. So they've also swapped Nestor Cortez with Devin Williams, salary-wise too. So they were both going to pretty much make the same amount of money. Now you're trading, a decent starter with 1 year of control for one of the best relievers in all of baseball. That's a pretty good trade for the Yankees. Okay, and they also gave up Caleb Durbin. So, but finally, Cody Bellinger. Now, yeah, no more talk and speculation now. So, Nolan Arenado for defensive purposes. The only way I take Nolan Arenado is if they can somehow get Brendan Donovan too. There goes your first base and your third base right there, all in one trade. That's the only way I could do that. I could also see, what do you call it? Bellinger hitting a good amount of home runs here too. So he's better than people think, Drew. He's going to be fine with the Yankees. So a big gummy supply. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Udall. The news is Cody Bellinger has just been officially traded to the Yankees. He's here. He's a Yankee now. For Cody Poteet, and the Cubs are sending $5 million to pay down some of Bellinger's money. I highly doubt Bregman. Anybody with a qualifying offer. That means no Bregman, no Santander, no Christian Walker, unless they trade for comp picks and international money first to replace what they were going to be giving up for those guys. I'd be surprised if they didn't do that. My guess is they probably did try to get Horner, and the Cubs weren't budging now that they traded Isaac Paredes to the Astros. So now they're going to probably put Horner at third base. So I get that. Goldschmidt, no, I just heard that they're, have dialogue and that's it. I think they're going to go shoot higher than Goldschmidt. So he also had 18 home runs in a not so great lineup. He's going to be surrounded by much better guys here. People are not going to want to pitch around Judge to get the Bellinger to get the Stanton in that order. Not going to happen, right? So, but for people who are, obsessed about his home runs, because home runs is not the only thing. I mean, that's not the only thing that matters. I'm going to pull up his stats right now. Okay. Two for two. He really batted 266 this year. He also hit 23 doubles. He has between 25 and 30 doubles a year for the last pretty much every year, except for 2021. Anywhere between 19 and 20, he's hit 47 home runs and 39. So I would expect probably 25 to 30 here, my guess. He also steals some bags too. He had 20 in 2023, 14. So he's solid all around. Career 818 OPS. Another guy with over 800 OPS. So, and Jonathan just reported too another piece of news. Yankees signed pitcher Colton Brewer to a minor league contract. Minor league, thank you, Jonathan. For a minor league contract means you're not on the 40 man. So, which is fine, adding pitching depth in the minor leagues. Brewer was with the Cubs last season. So look at that. Let's pull up Colton Brewer stats here. Colton Brewer. Let's see. He's 32 years old. He's a right-handed pitcher. Could be another project for Matt Blake. Yeah, 5 ERA guy. So it's like another project for Matt Blake. Let me think of his metrics. He averages about a strikeout per inning. So not much stats. There's not much of a stat profile. He hasn't pitched much. So I highly doubt the Yankees are going to trade for Vlad Jr. I think the Mets are going to get him, probably in free agency. They would try to trade for him at the winter meetings. That I know because I had somebody reporting on that for us. Yeah, I mean they're going to be in on Tucker next year, so they're not going to trade for Tucker now. That's not going to happen. Tucker's replacing Bellinger now, so. Tanner Scott does not have a QO. Neither does Walker Buehler. Neither does Jack Flaherty. Anybody that was traded at the deadline, with the exception of Walker Buehler, is not eligible for a QO. So you have to spend your entire season with the team in order to be eligible for a QO. So Tanner Scott does not have one. Neither does Jack Flaherty. So those guys, you're good to go. And if they trade Stroman, then my guess is they're going to bring in another starter. So that's something to keep an eye out for, too. No, the Yankees are not done, Jose. They're not done making moves. Cody Poteet is all the Cubs got, Steels. What's up, Steels? And they're sending $5 million back to the Yankees. Yankees fleeced the Cubs here. They fleeced the Brewers last week. They fleeced the Cubs this week. So anybody, thinking Cashman's not a bad GM, again, man. No. The Yankee Stadium is going to be much more production friendly to Cody Bellinger than regular field is. I would agree with that. Yankees current payroll 231. So if you add Bellinger to that, that takes them 250, 253. They still have a little under $50 million to play with. So a little under $50 million to play with, Ken. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Well, they're gonna go after Roki. They're definitely gonna go after Roki. We'll see what happens with Roki in this. We don't know what's going on there. So it's going to be. My guess is not speculation, Mark. It's pretty obvious he's going to bat. They're already looking. They've already said they're looking for a lefty to bat between Judge and Stanton. So this is Bellinger. I don't think unless they bring in Josh Naylor and bat him fifth, and then you can bat Cody Bellinger second. I could see that. That's the only other scenario I could see if they bring Carlos Santana, but he could bat second and Bellinger could bat fifth. So, I read it a little. I think it's higher than that, Ken. You could be right though. If it's 231 Bellinger, that leaves him $70 million to play with. So, yeah, Josh Naylor's grown up since that Rock the Baby stuff. So, he's grown up. So, if we got Bellinger, if we got Naylor, I wouldn't complain. But my guess they're probably going to try to. No word on Christian Walker. They've cooled. All the teams have cooled off on him because he's attached to a QO. He's also 33 years old. Now, he's an elite glove. Okay? He's an elite glove, and he's got a good bat too, but he's attached to a QO. And any team that gets him has to forfeit 2 draft picks. And that's one reason why teams have backed off on him now. I don't know if it's 287, Bryce. I think it's lower than that. With the trade last week, there was pretty much a complete swap in salaries. Yankees sent a couple of $1 million to Milwaukee, but it was pretty much an offset. And they also, they lost another $30 million when Soto signed with the Mets. So it gave them a little bit of extra room to play with, which is good. So Santander, I doubt. No, Stanton's probably going to bat fifth. What up, Talbot? Yeah, Jeffrey. It's either we need a first baseman and either a second or a third. Yep. The one trade to make, if you can get it, is the only scenario I would take Arenado for first base is if Brendan Donovan came with him for third base. That's the only news. Only way. No news on Bregman. Jose, I don't think Bregman's happening. So not for the Yankees. He's either going to go back with the Astros now that they've traded Tucker, or probably go to the Tigers to reunite with AJ Hinch. That's my guess. So yeah, they didn't even get Will Warren. It was about dumping money steals. Yeah, this is where so much speculation from all these people who say they have sources and they don't have sources. It never gets corroborated. As soon as Passan and Kerry put it out, and Jonathan shared it, that's when I went live. So as soon as it came out for these guys, the folks that count, the folks that matter when it comes to the Yankees, that's when I waited. I'm not gonna say, oh my God, MLB Scoops, MLB Marathon is reporting. No, those aren't really credible pieces. Hey, buddy. So yeah, Bellinger could lead off too, but I think he's going to be more suited to bat second. My guess. Bellinger's going to count as 22. Yeah, I doubt Ben Rice is playing first, but if he does, he does. Bellinger is a good fit for the Yankees. That's a good trade. This is a good trade for the Yankees. This is one way of replenishing the production that Juan Soto is moving on from. So they will still. I think they're going to make another trade or two. They're not going to be done, and they're still going to add to the bullpen. And don't be surprised if they move Grisham, like I said, Trevino, Stroman to clear up some more money. Yeah, they're looking to trade Stroman. We'll see if it actually happens. That's the key, right? So yeah, Colton Brewer to a minor league deal. Talbot, yep, right-handed pitcher, 32-year-old pitcher. Jeff Passan. Which Jeff Passan, JRJ? This Jeff Passan with an O, which is an imposter. It's not a legit Jeff Passan. But generally, Passan, the real Passan, doesn't say that they're close. He reports when they're done. I'm gonna look up his thing right now. They had mutual interest. Let's see. So of this $5 million, $2.5 million is going towards this year, and $2.5 million is going towards either the buyout or the opt-in for next year. So, yep, and just Cody Poteet's headed to the Cubs. So, this is a good trade. This is a good trade for the Yankees. Really good trade. My guess is going to bat behind Judge, but you never know. Never know. Depends on who else the Yankees bring in. It really depends on who else they bring in. Keep hitting them thumbs up, gang. Let's hit the like buttons to celebrate this trade. If you're happy that Bellinger's here, let's try to get to over 300 likes right now. I'll be back on a little bit. I'll be back. I'll be on here a little bit longer. It is a salary dump deal, yeah. Yeah, Cashman's working behind the scenes. Yeah, $2.5 million goes towards this year. $2.5 million goes towards the opt-out. Cubs might pivot to a starting. Yeah, with the same. There, I know they were talking to the Marlins about Jesus Luzardo. So, what up, Kate C? What's good? Dominguez is probably going to be their starting center fielder, and now he's going to be surrounded by Bellinger and Aaron Judge in right field. So that's pretty darn good. If he opts out, there is a buyout. I think it's a $5 million buyout. So you either opt into 2026 or you opt out. If you do opt out, there's a buyout attached to it, Ken. So, and the Cubs would pay $2.5 million of that $5 million. So that's how the player opt out works. In this situation, Ken. 270 likes. All right, let's keep hitting. Let's get over 300, gang. Let me know if you have. Are you happy with Bellinger so far? Devin Williams and Max Fried. We got the lowest ERA reliever in the last 5 years, half decade, and the lowest ERA starter in the last half decade added to this team this offseason. And now we got Cody Bellinger. And Yankee Cashman's still going to add 2 more bats. I'm pretty confident in that. Luzardo is ARB. I think he's got 3 years of ARB left. So that would be a good trade for the Cubs. Council knows Burns well too. Yeah, right now I heard the Giants are the favorites on Burns, but nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened yet. So he would be the Japanese star here, Roki Sasaki, if he came here. And obviously Masahiro Tanaka would be part of the presentation. Even though he's already signed the contract, he's going back to Japan to pitch again. But I guess I'm hearing that he's going to be part of the presentation to try to help get Roki Sasaki here. So I think he's joining the Yomiuri Giants. Masahiro Tanaka back in Japan next year. So he signed a contract, I think, a day or 2 ago. It is less pressure on Dominguez in center. When you have 2 elite gloves on both sides, there's less pressure. It gives him a chance to make mistakes, make adjustments, and grow and develop, which is exactly what I. Why don't you like the trade there, Ken? I doubt Bellinger's going to play. I mean, I'd be surprised if Bellinger plays center field. But if he plays center field, then he plays center field. If Dominguez plays center field, then I'm fine with Bellinger in left. He's fine in left or center. So we don't know that yet. It's up to Aaron Boone, not Bob Nightingale, to decide where Bellinger's going to play. Beat writers don't decide that. The manager does. Yeah, next year he cost the Yankees either 2.5 or 22.5. Yeah. Cody Poteet is all they gave up. That's all they gave up for Cody Bellinger. All right, buddy. Hang on. It's pretty freaking good. Carlos Santana's a good option for first base. He's a veteran. He's a solid hitter. He's a gold glove. He had 23 home runs last year. He's older. He won't cost as much as Christian Walker, and definitely not cost as much as Pete Alonso. And he's not attached to a QO. So, he's been told. How do you know that he's been told that, Bryce? The trade just happened a few minutes ago. Alec Bohm is another option for third base and first base. Yeah, the Phillies offered Bohm and Castellanos to the Astros for Kyle Tucker, and the Astros said no. So we don't really need his power numbers to be super high, Ken, in all honesty. We need to get good contact skills from him. But let me pull him back up here. Let's pull him up his stats here. He struck out under 200 times, under 100 times the last 2 years. Under 100 times. So I think that's a little bit that information is not necessarily that accurate in terms of his K rate. 87 strikeouts in 23, 89, and 24. So I'll take that over 150 to 200 strikeouts. Just to put it in perspective, let me go. Let's pull up Aaron Judge and his stats, his strikeouts here. Let's pull up Aaron Judge's stats here just for comparative. He's got 315 home runs already. He struck out 171 times this year, 130 in 2023. So that's an increase. Bellinger strikes out half the time, half the amount of time that Judge strikes out. So I'm okay with that, Ken. I'm okay with that. But I understand some people are not okay with that. That's fine. Yankees also need a good being. Yeah, I mean, right now you'd have Grisham on there. You'd have Trevino, Oswaldo, and then another player. Well, hello, Jennifer. How are you? But my guess, yeah, third and first is my guess too. Unless they plan on playing Jazz at third and getting a second base. It really depends on what options are better, right? What trade options are better? Better trade options at third. Like, I don't know if they can get Ryan McMahon, and I doubt they can get Brennan Donovan. So my guess they're going to be, going a different route for third base. Yes, we did get Cody. Yeah, Judge hit. He had a great season. So we need it. Yeah, we steals. We do need a better bat on the bench. So we need a better bat on the bench. So no Horner, no Clemenza. Just Cody Poteet heading back to the Cubs from the Yankees, and the Cubs kicking in $5 million. We're getting Cody Bellinger. There's no Horner in the deal. So Yankees are still looking to get another infielder and a first baseman. So 2 more infielders. And Bellinger he's an elite fundamental player in the outfield. And he's 29. Yeah. I think he's going to be solid. DJ. Yeah, DJ's still here too. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I understand people's concerns and all these players. I get it. But I think Bellinger's going to be fine, personally. I think Bellinger's going to be fine here. But we'll see. I could be wrong, too. I understand where Ken's coming from, too. Yeah, Horner would have been nice, but once they traded Isaac Paredes to the Astros for Kyle Tucker, it made it a little bit difficult to move. More difficult to move Horner, which I understand too. Trevino and Stroman, I think, are going to go steals. I'm not sure about DJ yet. Dominguez can play left, but I think he'd be better off in center because he'd be protected on both sides. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, Efros says the Yankees did not trade any of their top relievers. Efros, no Hamilton, so they'll re-sign Hill, and I think another big. They need a big lefty. I mean, I hope they get Tanner Scott, but we'll see. There's a couple other good lefty relievers that are available too. So pitching, yeah. Nah, Poteet, that's a pretty darn good trade for the Yankees. Yeah, that's why I think Dominguez is better suited in center because he's going to be protected on either side. When you're in center, you're covered on either side by an outfielder. When you're in a corner outfielder, you can go one direction, but you got the wall in the other direction. The wall's not going to move. So, and that's where I think Cody Bellinger is going to be better suited for left field. I think it's going to go the trade route for first base, for second or third base. So, unless they go Carlos Santana for free agency, I don't think Rizzo will retire. I think he'll sign a deal somewhere. And Alex, I heard they're going to work on trading Stroman too. So, or they are quietly trying to trade him. So 429 people in here, gang. Let's see if we can get to 400 likes. So, yeah, and Jonathan put this in perspective right here. They traded Nestor Cortez, Cody Poteet, and Caleb Durbin, and have gotten Devin Williams and Cody Bellinger back in the last week. That's masterclass by Brian Cashman. People can crap on Cashman all they want. I know there's a couple of Yankee channels who love trashing Cashman. They got nothing when it comes to this here. Nothing. We gave up Cody Poteet, Jay Gent, and that's it. No doubt, of course, Jeff Cook, absolutely. I appreciate Jonathan for keeping me updated too. So Jonathan sent me a text, and I was talking to my group about it over the last. Because there's so much speculation right now on Twitter, which is not an accurate source for news. So there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of propaganda on there, especially political propaganda. That's why I stay away from politics on this channel. Yandy Diaz is a good fit for first base. There's a couple of good trade fits. Nate Lowe, yeah. So my guess is they're going to cut some more payroll and make another trade or two. But if they went over 300, they went over 300. They were at 314 last year. So Hal seems to be okay with that, which is fine. It's fine by us. So. Manny from San Diego. I'm a hard pass on Manny Machado. He's got like 10 years left on his deal. I'm a hard pass on him. Pete Alonso, I doubt it's going to happen. He's also, yeah, terrible with the glove, attached to a QO. Hard pass on him. No, I just heard this. That to me is Scott Boras trying to raise the price on the Yankees and leak the Yankees are in on these guys, him and Bregman. He represents both Bregman and Alonso. So anytime you get the Yankees up, they tries to raise the price. And Bregman's already turned down 6 years, $156 million from the Astros. So my guess is he's going to get more than that. So free Davis and Bellinger, close, Leotis. If they add two more bats, I'll be confident that they'll be better than last year. So Goldschmidt's maybe an option. Let's see, pull up his stats here too. I mean, he's an older player. He's obviously declining too, but he's a pro. But I think if they're gonna go for an older veteran, it's probably going to be Carlos Santana because his bat's better at this point. Goldschmidt was at 22 home runs, 245 ribbies this year. Not bad. Carlos Santana is a Gold Glove, so Nailer as well. Overpaying for who, Joseph? Dominguez did not look okay in left field. He looked completely outmatched, which is why I think center field's a better fit for him. Because he'd have protection, again, from Cody. He'd have protection from Judge. You don't get that in the corner outfield. I'm not surprised Seattle's only on Walker either. No surprise. And so Carlos Santana is also a lefty bat. So But he also just traded for somebody who wants to be with the Yankees, which is fantastic news. I mean, somebody that you want guys that want to be here. Soto did not want to be here anymore. So I'd rather have somebody who wants to be here. Beatty at third. Well, Beatty's not better than Jazz. If I'm going to move Jazz second, the guy coming in at third has got to be better than Jazz. Beatty's not better than Jazz. So that's the way I look at it. Not that I know of. Billy told you something. Not that I know of. They're going to see what happens in spring training. If Dominguez, all right, if Dominguez gets a shot, he gets a shot. Either one of these positions. So. Yep. Winker, I mean, he's all right. They're gonna ask. The Blue Jays are gonna ask for Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez and more for Vlad. Yeah, and I'm gonna pass on Vlad. Yeah. So Bellinger is probably packing his stuff right now. Yeah. Coming to New York, baby. He's gonna look good with the pinstripes. J.R. Jake, Hector Gomez, not a credible source. J.R. Jake. I'm hearing it. Hector Gomez, not a credible source. Vladdy does need to grow up. Well, that's the other thing too. I don't think Vladdy would sign an extension with the Yankees. Corbin Burns could maybe fall into our laps. Maybe, we'll see. But they have to trade Marcus Stroman to even think about Corbin Burns. Mm-hmm. I don't really care what John Boy says. To be all honest with you. They're going to decide during spring training. Unless they're confident that Dominguez is going to get better in left field, it doesn't make any sense to play Dominguez in left field and Bellinger in center. But that's what they do. That's what they do. But again, I don't care what John Boy says. Qualifying offer is something that's attached to certain players that are going to be free agents that attaches a certain salary to it. So this year is $21 million. And once a player is attached to a qualifying offer, then they could accept it and come out. And one player accepted the QO this year. But it attaches essentially an incentive to the team that's attaching the QO to him. That way, if a team like the Yankees signs a player with a QO, they have to forfeit 2 draft picks, okay, and international money as well. Now, the international money goes into the international pool, if I'm not mistaken. The draft picks get swapped out too. So, and that's essentially pretty much it. I hope in the new CBA that they move away from the QO because it makes it harder to sign players in free agency. It makes them sit in the market a little bit longer. I mean, if Christian Walker was not attached to a QO, he would have been signed already. If Pete Alonso was not attached to a QO, would have been signed already. Yeah. Arise is another option. It's the Padres have put him on the trading block now, so we'll see. We'll see where he goes there. Well, that's the other thing too. Is an average of a top 125 salaries. Yeah, it's 21 million this year. It was like just over 20 million last year. Yeah, $1 million in international money and a 4th rounder. Well, it depends on the player. So we're giving up 2 draft picks for Max Fried. So, yep, we just got Bellinger. Dang, yes, we did. Yes, sir. The Yankees picked up some additional international pool money with the Boston trade. Yes, they did. They traded the pitcher. Yeah, and they've already signed an international player about a week and a half ago that I put out a report on, too. So, a left-handed, 17-year-old left-handed hitting shortstop from the Dominican Republic. So, yep. And just to put this in perspective, When the Yankees had Nick Swisher, who was great, he wanted a contract and they didn't give him a contract after he was up in the Yankees. So they gave him a qualifying offer. He rejected it and signed the 4-year, like $50 million contract with the Cleveland Indians. And they got a compensatory pick after the first round. That pick wound up being Aaron Judge. That's how they were able to draft Aaron Judge. That extra pick they got for the QO that was attached to Nick Swisher, which is crazy. Yep. Well, that's the thing, too. We get players that want to be in pinstripes, and Cody Bellinger wanted to be in pinstripes. I would give him 22. I know Max Fried, if people talk about Max Fried, but I'd rather give a hitter 22. Give Max Fried a different number. But I don't really care if either one of them should get 22. So, yeah, so Poteet's the only one that's leaving the Yankees, Brian H. The only one that's leaving the Yankees. I like Poteet, but I like Bellinger more. So, I can't see them getting Bregman, CWA, in all honesty. Oh, 18 homers. It's such a weak talking point that so many people talk on Twitter about. He's going to be surrounded by a better lineup this year. He brings more than homers, stolen bases, doubles. He brings a lot of contact, too. He brings elite defense in the outfield, too. So, again, we don't need a guy, multiple guys. But if we get 2 or 3 guys that hit anywhere between 25 home run, 20, 25, 30 home runs this year, we've more than replaced Juan Soto. And, again, we're not going to sign players like Bregman and Pete Alonso because it would make it harder to sign Roki Sasaki. And the Yankees are going to be in the running for Roki Sasaki. Despite what the market expectations that he goes to the Dodgers, he'll be third fiddle with the Dodgers. So that's just something to keep in mind. He'll be the Japanese number 1 here. We got 1 pick, man. We got 1 pick. We got a 4th round comp pick. So the 2 picks that you give up don't go to the team. The team gets a compensatory pick, but the 2 picks that you give up go to like a pool that are distributed amongst teams in another way. So you give up 2 picks, but the team itself receives a compensatory pick. So we received the 4th round comp pick for Juan Soto and the $1 million. Well, the $1 million actually goes into this pool as well. So you lose $1 million international money when you sign a player attached to a QL. We didn't get the team that loses him doesn't get the international money, unfortunately, which sucks. They should. So this is why, again, the Yankees. I think the Yankees are going to avoid guys with QOs from here on. They got the 1 guy, Max Fried, who's a legitimate number 2 for the rotation, but beyond that, I don't prefer any of those guys, Justin, for first base. I mean, Walker, he would be my number 1 pick if he wasn't attached to a QO. So he would be my number 1 pick. All right, we need 15 likes to get to 400. Let's keep hitting them thumbs up that you're happy. And we got Devin Williams, Max Fried, and Cody Bellinger. And the Yankees aren't done yet. If they got Tanner Scott, too, with those 4 guys, would you consider that a very good offseason? I would. We got 385 likes. We need 15 to get to 400. Let's rock and roll. But I'm glad you're all coming on here and joining us here. I hope you're happy with this news. Cody Bellinger is officially with the Yankees. Let's see if there's any other news that comes out regarding the Bellinger trade. There's usually some stuff that comes up afterward. Let's see. Nothing yet. Okay. Let's see. By the way, Giancarlo Stanton used to date Cody Bellinger's, I think, ex or his current wife. So there's going to be a lot of probably bickering about that too. But Bellinger seems to be, Stanton seems to be grown up. He's a pro. Bellinger's going to play the outfield. He's a much better outfield than he's a first baseman. That's it, Siciliano. Who would I want at first base? At this point, either Nate Lowe from Texas or Naylor from Cleveland or Carlos Santana in free agency. I would not take Alonso or Walker. No. Goldschmidt. I mean, if I had to choose between the three, it'd be Walker. Way before Alonso. Walker's an elite glove. Alonso's a terrible glove. But yeah, some good news, Robert. That's right, baby. That's some good news. No, I think they're going to wait on free agents until the prices come down. The prices are crazy high because of these contracts that like Soto and Malia Damas and Max Fried have signed. It's elevated the prices for first baseman, particularly Soto. So they're going to wait for these things to come down. So I think the Yankees are done searching for outfielders, unless they're going to get another one for the bench. They're looking for infielders now. We'll see, Brandon. I may be one of those guys. Either one of them would be fine additions to it in a trade, whether it be Nate Lowe or Josh Naylor. Because he's attached to a qualifying offer, Fred. I like Walker, and like I've already said multiple times, if he didn't have a QO, he would have been signed already. Nobody's signing him right now because they're hesitant for the two draft picks they have to give up, and the price tag is going to cost over $20 million a year. So my guess is they're going to trade for a first baseman. So, yeah, I think they're going to get two infielders. At least one of them being in a trade. I'm fine with Carlos Santana too. He's a Gold Glove, he's a pro, he's a great teammate. So I'm totally fine with Carlos Santana if they go free agency. Plus, it'll be much cheaper than anybody else. So, but the clubs did get fleeced, just like the Brewers got fleeced by Cashman last week with Devin Williams. So Cashman's doing his thing right now. No, I think I think it's just common sense says that Dominguez would be better suited at second and center field right now. So Bauer, no, he's not coming back to the majors. Trevor Bauer, no. We'll probably have to eat. Half a Stroman. He might maybe half or 6 to 8 million of it, something like that. Frankie Bag of Donuts, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you, sir. I would trade Nate Lowe. I would trade for Nate Lowe, but I would not sign Bregman because of the QL. Yeah. Wehrman's, I will look out for Texas or Detroit or San Francisco. I like Robert Jr., but he's injured. He's 20 injuries with him. So I would pass on him too. I would pass on. And we don't need another outfielder now. We got Bellinger. So we do not need another guy for the outfield. No. Judge is going to be in right field, Tiffany, where he's better off in. It'll be better for his legs too. Yep. She is. My little one is sitting next to me, Clemenza. She's playing her cards and counting, doing her counting. Batting front, yeah. I think he's going to be bat behind. I think he's going to bat between Judge and Stanton. But if they get somebody like Josh Naylor or a power guy for first base, then I think that guy will bat fifth and Bellinger will bat second. I think it's just the order makes sense. So, Amanda, brother, appreciate you, man. Thank you for saying that, man. We try to keep it real here, man. We just keep it 100% with each other. You know? Keep it 100% with each other, man. That's my little one, little Madison. So, first base either going to be a free agency or a trade, yeah. She is, Mark. She's only 2 years old, too, and she can count to almost 100. So, Johnny the Weisiger, too, is back. Yep. And they got Devin Williams. If you can send Stroman $6 million to the A's for international money, I'll take that. I'll take that. Maybe get a comp pick too if you can. Sign me up for that. Volpe might lead off. 445 likes. Jesus, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Volpe's got a better shot at batting leadoff now. Steals. He does. Bronx Pride. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, keep up the good work, buddy. Yep. Yeah, we have my wife and I are both math nerds. We both have degrees in business and math, so all of our girls can count pretty high and do quite a bit of math calculations. So if Jose Ramirez was available, unfortunately he's not. So Vlad Jr. is not happening. FJR. Not here. And I wouldn't trade the Martian for Vlad, especially since he's very likely not gonna sign an extension. So I would platoon if Rice doesn't get traded, because you're right, Rice could get traded too. No. He could get traded. Now they could trade somebody like Clark Schmidt for a good bat. So, and then which would free up the opportunity to sign another starter, which I think at that point would probably be Bueller or Flaherty. I think Pete Alonso goes back to the Mets too. So I'm not hard about trading Stanton. I love Stanton, Gary. I don't want to trade Stanton. Not me. Better for the Yankees, Bellinger, DM. Better for the Yankees, Bellinger. Rice for Cassis. Yeah. Be crazy. Alonso to the Jays. He could go to the Astros. They need a first baseman. He could go to the Mariners. They need a bat. He can go to a couple places. So the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox will make another move or two also. So Ben Rice could also be backup catcher, making it easier to trade Jose Trevino as well. Yep. Really depends. The Q is. I don't know if there's anybody out right now that's worth giving up that stuff for, especially when you have a guy like Roki Sasaki available. That's the problem too. Bronx 5 podcast. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Super chat, man. Thank you. No, Nail is actually pretty decent. 500 likes. Jesus. The QO does suck, and the problem when you have a QO, in the same year, you're interested in guys in the QOs in the same year, interested in like a top international guy. That's a tough scenario. That's a crappy scenario. So, should we get to 500 likes? Wow, gang. I appreciate you. 470 likes. All right. I'll take that. I got 3 girls, Jay. I got 3 girls, man. Yeah, 3 girls, my 3 loves, my 3 beauties. So, Arise, decent option, but I like Brandon Lowe. I think is a good option for second from Tampa Bay. I mean, I would love freaking Brandon Lowe and Yandy Diaz, but I can't see that happening. But I like Bellinger's positional versatility too. Next moves likely going to trade for an infielder or sign a reliever, a lefty reliever. That's my guess. Yeah. The Mets they need to re-sign Pete Alonso, and they need to re-sign Sean Manaea. So, just when we least expect it, Cashman fleeced the Cubs today. And when I was live last week talking about the international player, that's when we got the trade. That's when the trade happened with Devin Williams. He fleeced the Brewers too. So, kudos to Brian Cashman, man. Pat on the back of Brian Cashman. So, we'll see what happens. Cashman tends to sometimes trade for people that we don't expect him to trade for. So that'd be my guess too. If DJ looks bad this year, my guess still probably DFA him. Fred, that'd be my guess. Same to you, Robert. Thank you. God bless you and happy holidays to you. I don't think he's a fit, Lee. He's a terrible glove. Taking away from the Mets would be fun, but he's a terrible glove. Alonso. Bellinger for Poteet. That was the trade, Michael. And the Cubs are sending us $5 million. So, yeah, the Mets were. Who's they, Jay? Who's they talking? We know that the Giants are in heavy on Corbin Burns. Yeah, I mean, if you got Brendan Donovan steals, man, I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy, man, if you got Brendan Donovan for third base. Oh my God, that would be. You're the GM of the year, man. Brian Cashman did that. Yeah. Well, if he has a good year, my guess is he opts out. Mark, if he has a bad year, I think he picks it up. I mean, if he has a really good year, then he can get more. It makes sense for him to opt out. So, yeah, exactly, Jay. It's a terrible relationship between the QO and the international player. That has to change. That has to change. Chicken farm, baby. Stop chicken farm. No Nico Horner, no. Santana, if I had to choose between him and Christian Walker. And again, I'll say this. I like Christian Walker as my first pick, but he's attached to a QL. Which at this point, they've already signed a guy attached to a QL. I can't see them doing another one. Especially if they're in on Roki Sasaki, which they are. So. But that's it, gang. That's what I got for you. I'm going to go bathe my 3 girls now. And get a bath before mommy comes home. Before I make dinner. So I want to thank you all for coming on. I appreciate you. Hit the like button on the way out. I think we're about 10 likes from 500. So I put 498 likes. You need 2 more. And if anybody in here is not subscribed to the channel, please come and join the family and subscribe to the channel. Just turn on your notification because stuff like this happens. When it does, I will go live. I've got my valuable PMVI, Prime Minister Valuable Intel, Jonathan, always in here with me. Okay? We'll always make sure that you get the accurate news and the right news when it comes in. Okay, so peace and love to all of you. I appreciate all of you. Love you all. Jonathan, you're the man. You're a legend, bro. And if anything comes out later, I'll be back later.